Welcome back to Passing Time with Craig. As always, I'm your host, Craig. And today I'm passing time with Derek. Hello, Derek.
Hello, Craig.
How are you?
I'm good today.
That's good.
I mean, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
I'm good today. It's a lovely day, so I can't complain. And I get to pass time with you.
Exactly. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to chatting all kinds of stuff. I think we start off with, you work for Theatre Calgary.
I do. I'm the Associate Director of Development.
How long have you been with Theatre Calgary?
I have been with Theatre Calgary for 2 years.
Wow.
Almost 2 years in November. And before that, because what my profession is, I'm a fund development guy.
Yeah.
So I bring in the money so people can come enjoy theater in Calgary. And before that, I worked at the opera, but before that, I was in human services. So I worked with seniors a lot.
Right.
I did a lot of stuff with Woods Homes. But when I first moved to Calgary in 2016, I worked at the Philharmonic. So I made my way back to the arts.
Nice.
And I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to be a part of. But before that, I don't know if you know my whole past life, where when I lived in Toronto, I used to work in film and TV production. And so when I raised money for TV shows that nobody ever watched, because it's Canadian TV.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some hits. I did Rookie Blue.
Yeah.
I did Hell on Wheels. I helped.
The key to, this is, we're already going to just go all over the map here.
It's a tangent.
But the key to it, those more successful shows, Canadian shows, are the ones that get American involvement as well.
Oh,
and
100%, 100%.
Right? Like Rookie Blue, Canadian, but also American.
ABC, yeah. ABC.
Schitt's Creek, very Canadian, but also got that funding and boost from Netflix. So
absolutely, yeah.
But I guess actually this is all perfect and all connected because it goes to money.
God bless it. Gosh bless it. That's all I've been doing. I mean, I laughed. A friend of mine asked me the other day, and I'm not saying my age yet, how long have I been raising money? And I had to really think back.
Yeah.
I think my first grant I wrote was almost 30 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow.
That's crazy.
I'm true Gen Xer. I'm a true Gen Xer. Yeah. It's wild.
Well, the arts are amazing and great, but they do need funding.
They do.
And they need support, not just funding, but just support from people. And Theatre Calgary does something fantastic where $44 is with tax, every ticket.
Yeah, well, not every ticket.
Not every ticket.
So, well, I mean, I wish, but then we'd have sold out shows all the time. So, Theatre Calgary has what's called Theatre for All, the ticket initiative, where every seat in the orchestra, which are fantastic seats. If you've ever been to the Max Bell Theatre in Arts Commons, you've sat in the orchestra where those are the prime seats. Yeah. And so every single one of those seats for our 23-24 season are $39 plus tax, which ends up to being roughly $44. So $88 for a night out on the town. You can't even go to a restaurant for that anymore.
No, you can't.
So, and you get to see world-class, amazing theater.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So great. What was the Beatles music that I just...
Oh, As You Like It.
As You Like It. I loved it.
It was the mashup of the Beatles and Shakespeare.
Yeah, it was so well done. It was so funny. I enjoyed it so much. The music was great. But right now, Beaches, and this is cool because it's the world premiere.
Sure is.
Calgary got this world premiere of this very beloved movie classic starring Bette Midler, and now there's a musical Broadway show, and here we go. With
Jessica Vosk and Kelly Bartlett, who are New York Broadway, Jessica, I think she honed her chops on Wicked. Yeah. So that's good. I mean, forgive me, I'm not a Broadway gay, so
I'm not really either.
No. And I get dragged by my friends all the time. They're like, how do you not know this? And I'm like, well, I just don't. So please forgive me, listeners. It's interesting because just to go back to Beaches, this is truly a world premiere and a truly Calgarian thing, because Stafford Arima, who's our artistic director, lovely human, he and Iris Rainer Dart, who wrote the book Beaches that the movie's based on, and now the musical's based on that, he and Iris had pancakes in New York about 10 12 years ago. And Stafford looked at her dead in the eye and said, you know, you should turn Beaches into a musical. And as she's chewing on a pancake, she was like, ho, 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 Stafford.
Yeah.
Like, you know, aren't you cute? But then he was like, no, you really should. And so here we are, 10, 12 years later, and Beaches, the musical with a Broadway caliber, is on the stage at the Max Bell.
That's
and
awesome.
It's weird. It's wild.
Yeah.
And something for this to come to Calgary is important because
super
nobody
important.
ever thinks that, oh, you know, it's the traveling Broadway shows that come to
Broadway across Canada.
yeah. That no, Theatre Calgary does this.
Yeah.
Like the big musical for Theatre Calgary is always at the end of the season. So we're at the end of the season. Hurry, see Beaches. You have until June 16th. And, June 16th, people.
June 16th. Do it.
Yeah. And it's just interesting that we provide, you know, Calgary with these shows that people come to watch.
Yeah.
And the important thing is like, you know, I'm about to say the P word. During the pandemic, you know, nobody supported the arts. It was, I mean, because what, you know, you could go see things online. I mean, I'm sure you know all about it. Your life just ended, right? Like, not, I mean, you still hear it.
Yeah.
But
I'm a ghost this whole time. Spoiler alert.
But nobody supported the arts. And so we found during the 22-23 season, it's the two P's, programming and price.
Yeah.
So people would come out for the programming, like the last show of 22-23 that we did, you know, Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville. And we had crowds like we had never seen ever. And so the Theatre Calgary board and Fat Cats were all like, oh, we're on to something, but we need to do something.
Yeah.
And so Theatre for All became what it became. And so we have wonderful donors at Theatre Calgary, and they had stepped up to subsidize the seating in the orchestra. So that's why you get to pay $39. In 24-25, it's going up to $44, but it's still with tax and everything. It's $48, which is $96. $96 for a night out.
For a night out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's right downtown. It's easy access, like transit, like trains, Ubers, whatever you want to do to get there. Walk, bike. It's so nice out.
Take a scooter.
Yeah. It's just, I think, and I've chatted about this on the podcast before, you know, Calgary gets forgotten about the theater scene, and there's such a great theater scene here in Calgary. It's not just Theatre Calgary. There's so much. And yes, you've got Broadway across Canada comes in, brings these shows that people may not be able to see. Those aren't cheap tickets, though. Like, they're like Truth.
Like those sell for a way much more than a night out at One Yellow Rabbit, at Alberta Theatre Project, at Vertigo, whatever.
Yeah, but it's the same as when I talk about music, where people are willing to shell out $200 for a bad seat at the Saddle Dome to see this like artist instead of going to see 20 different local bands at these great music venues here. Like,
like Sled Island's coming up.
Yeah, Sled Island. Like,
which, I mean, I can say, I don't know who any of these people are, but who cares? Go to the Legion. Go to the Palomino.
You never know
hang out.
what you will find and discover and go, oh my God, that's a great band. You're a great singer. And now you just want to follow and know more about them.
Yeah, and that's the thing I find, too, about, like, the whole Calgary art scene in itself, not just theater. Like, I'm on the board of directors for the Calgary Underground Film Festival, and the last two festivals that we've had have been two of the biggest ones we've ever seen. And so people are coming out to support that. But then you switch it, like film, sure, it'll be all fine. But when you flip it over and go to like theater, people are like, I don't know, you know, like, do I want to spend that much on this? But yeah, you ultimately should. Yeah. It's something that you need to support locals because, and just to go back to Beaches, yeah, sure, the two big cast members are, you know, American, but the rest of it, from the crew to the littles who portray young Cece and Birdie, they're all Calgarian, they're all Albertan, and that's important that people tend to forget. It's like, oh, no, I'm not going to go see it because it's big American folk. And it's like, no, it's actually people who live and work here in the province, in the city. So that should be, people should want to support that, question mark.
And also, again, you don't really realize, because I guess it is not like, unless once you start going to theater, then you're into it. But like, if you don't go, you don't realize it. My sister and brother-in-law got tickets to, it was 2 plays ago, I think, at Theatre Calgary.
Mousetrap.
Yes, they got tickets, and they're like, I think they got it in like a silent auction. So they're like, okay, like whatever, we're gonna go, and they're like, we're not theater people. We'll see. And they had a blast, and now they're going again. They want to do more because it's super fun and just that live aspect. You never know what's going to happen, it's just such a great experience.
Like we all know. You know this. I know this. Families know this. Money is tight.
Yeah.
And people specifically pick and choose what they can do with their spare money. And whether it's travel, whether it's the arts, whether it's, buying a new computer, like whatever. And we are thankful that they're choosing us to spend their money on, because we see that go down and down. But on the flip side, we've also seen, in the comments on every show, that everybody's like, thank you for the tickets being this price, because we've never been able to go. I haven't gone since the pandemic, or I'm on a fixed income. I can only afford to go see 2 shows a year. So thank you for this. So it's that kind of thing that, you're proud of. You have to be, and so to have a small role in that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Since you've been working at Theatre Calgary, do you have a favorite show that you've seen?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a lot that I pretend I like. You don't know this. What was... I really enjoyed Mousetrap, which started off the 23-24 season. Carol, A Christmas Carol, which, I wish I had Christmas spirit, but it's pretty fun. I haven't seen Beaches yet. Isn't that bad?
That is bad. How dare you?
I'm going on the 9th.
Oh, nice.
So I'm taking my mom.
Nice.
Like a good son.
Yeah.
I mean, oh God, that's a good question. I really liked one show which was super polarizing for Theatre Calgary, our patrons. Last year we did a play called Little Red Warrior and His Lawyer, and it was about an Indigenous man who claimed, like, someone wanted to build an oil and gas thing on his land, and he's like, no, this is my land. So he took the money and what he did with it, and it was like this madcap comedy, which people were like, oh, am I supposed to laugh? And then it ends with like a big drag queen number, so people went like, they were like, what is on this stage? And so I was like, I'm here for it. It has all the things that are big topics, like Indigenous rights, especially with our trans friends, LGBTQ stuff in Alberta. So it was like, people either liked it or they hated it, and I was like, this is fantastic. So I mean, but that's what theater's all about, right?
Theater can do so much freedom and creativity, things that like only work as a play. Like sometimes there's some things that only work as a book. Like I know I've read some books and I'm like, no, you can't make a movie of this. Like actually, this is a fun one that I love telling people about. I read the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, the book.
That was a book
that came out
I
like,
didn't know that.
I think like at least a decade, if not 2 decades before the movie came out. And it's similar idea but different. They accidentally kill like a 12-year-old boy, like the friends and everything.
That came dark.
But there's a twist in it.
What's the twist?
The great twist that only worked in the book, because it turns out this character, like the killer, was pretending to be this person in like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character's life, and then pretending to be Jennifer Love Hewitt's boyfriend. you didn't know it, but if you watch the movie, you'd immediately see that, oh, that's the actors playing the same. So it only works as a book. So that's always like, yeah, there's just some things that just don't work with everything. But theater, you can do so many cool things with it.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, and it's not just something like what we do at Theatre Calgary. It's like One Yellow Rabbit downstage. Like Arts Commons is such a great hub for that. And like, and Vertigo's just down the street too. So it's all the people that you need to support. So
yeah, and
it's
then,
wild.
And Theatre Calgary doing something really neat this year with Eric, the wonderful Eric Wigston.
Oh, Wiggy.
Doing the like cocktails for the first showing and like doing everything like that.
Yes, Tipsy Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's the first Tuesday preview, and as part of every show, we do a custom cocktail. And so the lovely Eric Wigston, he is our token bartender.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Yeah. And he will talk about the drink. And the drink for Beaches is a play on a Long Island iced tea.
Oh, okay.
The Beach Haven Beach iced tea, I think. I think that's the name of the beach in the movie or the book. Sorry. And so it's, half tequila, half white rum, Coke, and ginger ale, and a stomach ache. So it's almost like, I don't know if that, I mean, hey, to each his own. I had a sip of it and I was like, oh, okay. The one we did for, was it Mousetrap? No, Mousetrap, we did a Cosmopolitan. No, sorry. Meteor Shower, we did a Cosmopolitan. Oh, As You Like It, we did this tonic drink with Kahlua. And it was like, I was like, who in their right mind would make this? I mean, you have to like tonic. I mean, I like me an espresso tonic, but...
I'm not a tonic guy.
No, neither am I. I can't.
Well, no.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass. I can't do it. Give me a good paper plane, anything bourbon, sign a baby up. But yeah, so the Beaches one is this Long on iced tea, and those are like Eric knows how to draw a crowd. Like he's so charming and lovely to work with, and he always, gets the crowd shake. And I mean, these are things that you miss when you don't come to Theatre Calgary.
Yeah. I also love it because I love when people can find things they're passionate about and bring together. So the fact that he's passionate about like making cocktails and being bartender, but also like great actor and into theater.
Oh, yeah.
How do I blend that? And like, I just love doing stuff like that. Like, I think it's fantastic when people can have multiple passions and like bring them together and like, well done. Stop being so awesome.
And Eric's one of the, I know I'm not supposed to call them understudies, but he's one of the understudies for folks in Beaches. So will he get on stage? Who's to say? Who's to say? But no, and I think that's good. I mean, like that, like there's lots of that outside programming that we do. Like we have like, oh my God! It just literally went out of my head.
I saw it go away.
Talkback Thursday. No. And then we have Talkback Tuesday. Something on Thursdays, and then we also do like ASL performances. ASL performances and relaxed performances, which is, it's important because everybody belongs to the theater. Everybody should come. So, I mean, it's important that we do these things where, we partner with Inside Out Theater and we do a lot of work with them to get folks with different, disabilities, different type of neurodivergent senses to come and enjoy the time and the space there. And it's great. I mean, we usually have quite good crowds and we're proud of that. I mean, some people are like, oh, I didn't expect to come during an ASL because I'd be looking at the folks signing, and you're like, no, it's cool because they're so expressive, and so there's a few swear words in Beaches, so we're all curious how they'll sign them, and we're like, ooh, cool.
I need to know that.
You don't know, I know, so I can be like, man, you don't know what I'm saying.
I do love that. It seems like especially ASL seems to be becoming more prominent and involved with stuff. Like even watching this clip of the Kelly Clarkson show, and you could see the ASL like interpreter just off to the side, like as they were coming back, and like the audience was cheering and everything like that. And it's just like those little things, like because again, it's just making it for everybody.
Yeah, and one of the things we do, which I don't think many people know about, along with the ASL night, we do touch tours for those folks who are who their vision isn't good. You know, they're blind, partially blind. And they walk on the stage and they get to feel what's around them. So they have a sense of what they're like. Shows like Mousetrap, Meteor Shower that had robust sets.
Yeah.
They could like walk on stage and touch, and then they get a sense of what's around them as they listen to the show. And so this with Beaches, it's the same. It's like there's a lot of video stuff, but it's also very bright.
Yeah.
And things people can feel. So, I mean, and that's the important thing that I'm glad that we do that. It's cool. Yeah.
Were you a fan of Beaches before? Like the movie?
I mean, like, I'm a queer kid, right? like in 1988, the book was released in 84. And Iris's book kind of was like, it was a hit, you know, it was a moderate hit. And then when she wrote the script for the movie, one of the financiers was like, you know, oh, who's going to want to come see a movie about women and friendship?
Yeah.
And they were like, haha, you'll be surprised. And so Gary Marshall, may he rest in peace, he directed it.
Yeah.
And was I a fan of the movie? Yeah. I mean, I was a sensitive gay kid, so I was like, you know, yay, Bette Midler, and, you know, and like, and Barbara Hershey, and like, you know, it's you know, the songs like Auto Tit Sling and all that kind of, and all that stuff that stay in your head. And I will say this about Beaches, the musical, it's closer to the book than it is to the movie. But there is that one song that if we don't have it, people will burn the theater down.
You have that. When you have a movie that has like one specific song and you're making it into a musical, you have to include it. Like, it's just how it goes.
If we didn't, I'm sure people would be like throwing their rotten vegetables on the stage like they did back in the day. I mean, like it did. I'm curious to read the book. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read the book, but I have a copy on my desk. So I kind of want to be surprised. And a lot of the elements that are in the book and the movie have been retained in the musical too. So it's kind of, you know, it's lovely to see what comes up on stage. You know, and as you know, as a queer kid from BC who watched it way back when, like I remember, like, you know, the costuming and the lights and Bette Midler's performance and the campy and like this and everything, and it's captured all on that stage too. You know, and so that's the thing I think I'm looking forward to when I see it the most. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a film that really a film from the 80s. Which actually hasn't dated too badly. I mean, there's some references you're like, but the 80s were a hell of a time. Yeah. It's all the cocaine. Yeah. It resonated with a lot of people because of the power of female friendship. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that people look at, especially nowadays, is the power of female friendship. I mean, or friendship in general, like, you know. So this is what, like, there's a lot of mothers and daughters, lots of BFFs, lots of girl gang that come, you know, all that kind of stuff. And there's a cool opportunity during Beaches where there's a photo booth. And you can come take your picture with your bestie or your gang of friends and all that kind of stuff. And at intermission, the photos get on the big screen in the Max Bell. So you can walk back in for the second half and go, there we are, we are.
That's cool.
And it's a nice touch. It's a very, you know, like, we want to focus on the experience. We want to focus on, you know, putting a world-class production up there, but there's also all the extras, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I like fun. I'm a good time.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you then. People are planning whether it's a date night or group outing with friends, and they're going to Theatre Calgary. Where do you recommend for either like food or drinks, like before or after?
Well, oh my God, that's a good question. I always say there's this restaurant in the Hyatt called Thompson's. Yeah. Which, you know, everybody, like, and you don't think, like, Thompson's, it's a hotel, restaurant, blah, blah, blah. But they do, every show, they do, it's called a stellar set. So they're doing one for beaches. So for 3 courses and a glass of wine for $45.
What?
I know, yeah. It's like appetizer, main, dessert, and like some plonk, some cheap glass of red or white for $45. There was rumor that there's parking involved in that for free. So if you want to park at the convention center for free, don't quote me on that, though.
Don't go.
look on our website.
Yeah.
www.theatercalgary.com. And you can upgrade your wine for $10 and it's $55. Like, it's a good deal.
That is a great
and it
deal.
changes the menu for every show. So the beaches one is, I think it's some seafood pasta, which is, fine. I mean, we're on the boardwalk. Like, where's my taffy? Yeah. Or across the way is, what is that chain? Not Earl's.
Milestone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Milestones. And Milestones, the deal we have with them is you get a free dessert when you show them your tickets.
Oh.
I mean, and I think you show them your tickets and you order an entree, like something classy like that. Yeah. I mean, I'll have some mud pie or like an ice cream sundae, whatever. Yeah. I mean, we do a lot with restaurants, actually, like James Joyce. They're like, show us your ticket, get 15% off.
Nice.
But I think that's for any show. Oh, like, still, who cares? It's James Joyce. But me, I'm a snob. So where would I go along Stephen Ave? That's a good question. I like Klein and Harris. They have a good happy hour, and that's always right before a show.
Nice.
And tasty food. There's Annabelle's that's there, but right beside it is on Stephen Ave. There's this lovely hidden gem called Bar Annabelle. It's probably about as big as from your wall here to this. Like, it's tiny.
Okay, yes, I know of it. Yeah,
and it's fantastic. Like pizzas and really good drinks and all that kind of stuff. And that's close to the theater too. I mean, all the youngins like to go to L Furniture Warehouse, and I'm like, I'm past that age.
Oh, so, I know. I've gone in there.
It fascinates me.
I've gone in there, it's a cool idea, like super cheap food. Yeah. It's all the same price. But I've gone in at for lunch on a Wednesday with a buddy, and before everybody gets out for actual lunch, so it was 11 o'clock, whatever. And there was us and one other table in there, and the music was still so loud, it was a Friday, Saturday night club, and I was like, what is the point of this? I'm like, I can't hear my friend.
No. And you get to that age where it's where I mean, this has to do with loudness. This is not a plug by any means.
So sounds like a plug.
I know, it's about to be a plug, but it's not a plug by any means. Have you heard of the earplugs called Loops?
No.
Loop? Save your life. They're I have 3 pairs. They're worth the investment, because concerts, loud play, as you age, I find that I get very sensitive to noise. Well, this is a totally wild tangent, but smart that you brought up. So I have earplugs all the time.
Yeah.
And they I can still hear, we could still talk.
Nice.
It's just like that would drive me nuts. I was out with friends last Saturday, and we went to Spanky's, which is a wild time on 10th Avenue.
Yeah.
It's a saloon, and it's very fun. But I had my loops in them because it was so goddamn loud. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no one here. Why are you playing, insert country artist here? So, so loud. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's you come to learn to have them.
I've never been good with loud noises. I remember being 18 in the club and being what? I don't understand. What are you saying? Huh? Just and then I just quickly became that person who was yeah, and that wasn't I didn't ask a question or this was a yes or no. Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah,
no, it's. I mean, back in the day, you want your eardrums to start bleeding when you're in a club, and then you're I can live through anything. And then most people will say once you hit 30, it's please, sweet Jesus, help me. I'm carrying these headphones everywhere. It's you're sensitive to things. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. So anyway, back to eating on Stephen Ave before the show. I'm trying to think.
There's a lot of places on Stephen Ave.
Good stuff.
And, Calgary's such an interesting city because weekends and evenings downtown can like disappear, ghost town. We're not like other major cities where things are downtown. But yeah, there's so many great places. I one of my favorite places to go on Stephen Ave is Bear and Kilt.
Oh my God, that's an institution.
I love the Bear and Kilt.
Like, I never want it to change. Yeah. Like, if you want to see like a gang from the Philharmonic, like all from the orchestra, they will always go there after the show. Yeah. Like, it's cheap and cheerful. It's like your parents' 70s basement.
That's what I always refer to it as. I'm like, it's just like a basement bar. Like,
and the food, like, the food is good.
The food is fantastic. Some of the best like pub food.
Yeah, some good bar pizza too. Yeah. But it's like, I forget. Yeah, the Bear and Kilt. I
love the Bear and Kilt.
Like, you feel like, you step back in time. Like, it's the best. Yeah. I love it. Oh my God, I keep forgetting about that.
The only like downfall for it this time of year is when I want to be outside in a patio or in the sun and like it's a
well, you're not wrong. Yeah,
that's the downfall.
It's very much like like, it's so, but on a super hot day, I'll take a basement.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah. Like, it's like, okay, it's too hot. Let me go.
Yeah. I need to go into a deep, dark hole.
Yeah.
Because I'm so hot. Yeah. No. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that place.
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
I recommend it, people.
So tasty.
It's so tasty.
I wanted to just circle back because these are things that my brain goes to do a quick plug for Beaches. Once again, you have until June 16th, Sunday, June 16th. The music, written by Mike Stoller. So I don't know if you know who Mike Stoller is.
The name sounds familiar.
But everybody should know who Mike Stoller is because he wrote Stand By Me, Love Potion No. 9, Hound Dog for Elvis. He's written stuff for Barbra Streisand. They're the gays. You'll love them. So he did the music for the show. So it's incredible. The man's 91.
Wow.
Like, sharp as a tack, spry. Like he will outlive us all.
Yeah.
And he is, super stoked with the music that he's provided for Beaches. So just had to mention that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I mean, it's all about the music. I mean, there's always that one song that people, know and love. And yes, that one song, Wind Beneath My Wings, is in it. But, they wanted it to be something more than what it was. I mean, like, could I name a major song from any other major Broadway show? Sorry, no. Well, except that, what's that one from Wicked? Defying Gravity? Yeah. And I'm not saying that because of the movie that's coming out. Which,
what's funny is I had never any inkling to go see Wicked. Like, I was like, no. And again, I'm not a good gay when it comes to Broadway. I'm like, man. But
it's true, I'm not either.
But I watched the preview for the movie. I was like, this movie actually looks good.
Yeah, it does,
I was like, I'm intrigued, but I had no urge to ever see it. But now, like, the trailer that came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see this.
My lovely coworker Taylor. She'll probably kill me if she hears this. She's a Ariana Grande girl, and she's like a pop girly, so her words, not mine. And she had to watch the trailer in private because she knew she would burst into tears. And I'm just like, what? So the day she watched it, I was like, so did you cry? She was like, oh my God, I loved it so much. And I was like, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. And then I watched it and I was like, damn, what is like, I mean, give me Cynthia and Viro anytime. Oh. Like, I love her.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah.
But, I do like me some Ariana.
Yeah.
You know, like in doses.
Yeah.
Although I don't mind her new album because it's only 35 minutes long. And it's perfect to work to. You just
there you go.
Going, wee! Yeah. I can do my work and blah, 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 blah.
One of the early things of the pandemic was Disney did a couple like specials where they had like musical artists perform Disney songs and like they recorded it at home and they were like some really impressive ones. And she loves Disney, Ariana Grande, and she did I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules.
Oh yeah.
And it's so well done.
Oh really?
It's so good. Okay. She's fantastic. And like, yeah, it was great. So that's my plug.
Have I seen Hercules? I'm a bad Disney.
You haven't seen Hercules?
I don't think I have.
Oh my goodness. Hercules is great. It's underrated.
Like, yeah, that's what I think.
It was like, because that was the end of like kind of near the end of the Disney Renaissance. Like we have already had like Little Mermaid, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. And then Hercules is like kind of gets forgotten, but it's really fun. It's really good. It sucks because James Woods does so great job as Hades, and Hades is a great villain, but James Woods is a real villain.
Well, you're not wrong.
So that's unfortunate, but it's really fun. It's really interesting, and it's really. I remember learning all about like Greek mythology. I was really into it when we learned it, and to have this like animated film where it's like, well, no, Zeus was actually not so great, and like, there's some like incest and shit, but we just like, it's Disney, so we're like, no.
Yeah, but Disney's always been notoriously like hidden queer coded too. So isn't Hercules the one that's super queer?
No, that one's not.
Well, I mean, the Little Mermaid, Ursula, hello.
Yeah.
But I mean, 101 Dalmatians, hello.
Yeah.
Moana, I don't know. But, I don't know. I will say this: speaking of the whole Disney thing, and I mentioned this to you before we started taping. A lot of Theatre Calgary staff, especially in the admin, they love their Disney like to a degree. Like I have never seen fan worship in my life. Like at least 3 folks have actually worked in Disney. One staffer goes there every year, and she's like, I'm not embarrassed to be an adult who loves Disney. Yeah. And I'm like, you go, girl. like I don't know what the attraction is and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look, I'm a Keith Haring, who's an artist. I have lots of his stuff and his clothes and my water bottle and all this kind of stuff. But I get it, but it blows my mind, and I don't know if that's a requisite be a theater person to love Disney, but it's a fascinating aspect, especially in the Theatre Calgary crew. It's like, there's Disney water bottles, there's this, there's that, and like they always talk about the rides and actors and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've watched a few Disney things.
I can talk to people all day about Disney.
I know you can,
but I won't.
Womp womp.
Okay, so we start to wrap up here.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
I want to know, what can you tease for us for the next season, the 2024-2025 season?
I can tease you everything because it's out and ready to go. So
September's the first one?
It's early. We start early this year. Previews for our first play is called The Play That Goes Wrong, and it's a play within a play within a play. Oh. It's currently playing in London's West End, and people are mad for it.
Nice.
So that opens up. The preview starts September 3rd and opening night September 5th. Then after that, we are doing the Lehman trilogy, which this is a play that won Best Drama Tony and has been doing the rounds around Canada and New York. It's about wealth and power and how it goes horribly wrong. And that is in October, November. And it's a long play. It's 3 hours long.
Wow.
So we're starting shows at 7 p.m. for that run. 3 hours, 2 intermissions. But the play is phenomenal. Like, we're so glad that we're bringing it to Calgary. Yeah. And then, of course, everybody's favorite starts November 29th, A Christmas Carol, which runs until, I think, the 29th of December. So book your tickets. And then we open January 25 with Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh, nice.
I know everyone's super stoked about that one too. And then after that, we're doing what I'm really looking forward to is some good old Noel Coward, Blythe Spirit, a nice seance kind of wife comes back to life type of comedy of error. So that'll be fun. And then we're doing a co-production. Well, we're doing a presentation with One Yellow Rabbit in the Big Secret Theater for an Indigenous comedy called Ayawaki, and it's all about It's kind of like a comedy of mistaken identity, where the main character, they're trans, and her father comes back looking because he gets some money, because he just gets some money, and then he mistakes his now daughter's roommate for who he thinks his son is. And so madcap ensues, and apparently, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I will. There are some Lady Gaga songs in it, and we've gotten, I'm hoping I can say this, but I am going to anyway, and we've gotten permission from Lady Gaga to translate them into Blackfoot language.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's so cool. It's
that's super cool.
And so that'll be, and that's a immersive kind of theater event, so it's going to be wild and fun. And then we close the season, as we usually do, with the big musical, and the big musical in 25 will be Legally Blonde.
Oh, nice.
Which I haven't seen, but I know the movie. I never saw the sequel, but
the sequel you can skip. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's 24, 25 in a nutshell. The ticket initiative will still be going strong. $44 tickets for orchestra. You know, it's because of our lovely donors that we can provide these seats for you, for everybody. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, final question. I always like to ask everybody, what's awesome?
What's awesome?
Yeah.
The lilacs right now that I have a beautiful view of from your place.
Yes.
What is awesome right now? I don't know. I'm just glad that it's June.
Yeah.
I think. I just want no more snow. I just want nice weather. But what else is awesome? This passing time with you is awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I rarely get to hang out, so it's good.
Yeah. So this is really why I started the podcast, so I can see people, because I could never hang out with anybody. I'm so busy. So let's have conversations.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But no, I think awesome is just being able to do what I do.
Yeah.
And hanging out and making sure that people have a good time.
That's awesome.
That's all I want.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Derek, I appreciate you coming on today.
No problem. Chatting
all things. So, Beaches, June 16th, that's our final plug of it. June 16th.
That's the final performance.
Yeah, so go get your tickets. Theater Calgary, support locals, support our wonderful theater scene here in Calgary, because it's great and fantastic. There's so many talented cast and crew. So,
and our folk, our production folk, our artistic folk, the entire admin team, everybody, we worked so hard on this, and the response has been wonderful. So we're very happy to share it with you and the world, and especially here in Calgary.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you once again, Derek.
No, happy to be here.
And thank you all for passing time with me. We'll chat soon. Bye.